the ex who came to my wedding, crazy twist. As I said, I do to the woman of my dreams. I locked eyes with the girl I thought I'd never see again. She was smiling, nodding her head, and holding a secret that could ruin everything. But who is she? And how did she know about my wedding? And what was the secret she was hiding? Let me explain. This is the crazy ex-girlfriend I thought I had completely cut out of my life. We went to high school together, and when we were seniors, we started dating. Everyone thought we were the cutest couple. That is, until she did something so horrible that I ended our relationship right away. It all started when I told her I got into the university of my dreams. Instead of being happy for me, she began insulting me. She called me a nerd and said it was obvious I only got in because of my looks. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She was supposed to be my girlfriend, not my worst enemy. So I broke up with her. When I arrived at my university, I decided to leave my ex and the town she lived in as far behind me as possible. I threw myself into my studies and eventually became best friends with this guy. We had a great time just being carefree students. That is until he introduced me to his sister. When I first saw her, I couldn't help but smile. She was beautiful and funny and kind. The three of us became really close. We hung out almost every day. And after I graduated, I started dating this girl. She was everything my ex wasn't. Supportive, caring, and she always knew how to make me laugh. We were so in love. I honestly thought she was the one. But then one day, while I was going through some old things in my apartment, I found a box with some of my ex's stuff in it. There was some old photos and letters and even a diary. As I was going through it, I realized I still had feelings for her. I know! It sounds stupid. I had already moved on. I had a new girlfriend and a great life. Why would I want to throw it all away? Well, that's what happened. I started seeing my ex in secret. I know I shouldn't have, but I was in too deep. I felt terrible keeping secrets from my current girlfriend. I knew I had to tell her! So I broke up with my ex and confessed everything to my girlfriend. To my surprise, she said she understood and that she had feelings for me too. We decided to take a break from our relationship and focus on each other. I thought this was my second chance at happiness. But then I got a call from my mom. She told me she was getting remarried and invited me to a small ceremony. I was shocked. I hadn't spoken to her in years. Why would she invite me? When I arrived, I was surprised to find not only my mom there, but also my ex. She looked beautiful in a white dress. Was this a coincidence? Or had she planned this all along? When they announced they were man and wife, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. I knew I still loved her, but I didn't want to admit it. That FYI was so shocked when she came over to my apartment later that week and dropped this bombshell. She was pregnant. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was this baby mine? I didn't know what to say. She told me she'd been carrying another man's child this whole time. The father was a guy she met while studying abroad. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. This wasn't my child after all. I didn't know what to say. She told me she'd been carrying another man's child this whole time. The father was a guy she met while studying abroad. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. It wasn't my child after all. But then she dropped another bombshell. She told me she was getting married. And when I asked who to, she replied, you. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She wanted to marry me. Why? Hadn't she just admitted she was in love with someone else? She explained that she'd come to my wedding to get closure. She wanted to know if I was happy without her. And she saw that I was. I think she was hoping I'd be sad or upset, but I was actually quite calm. When I told her I was in a relationship, she knew it was over between us. There was no hope of getting back together now. That's when she decided to let go of the past and move on with her life. And she hoped I would do the same. That's why she asked me to marry her! She wanted to start a family with me and give my child a father. It was crazy, but it made sense. I mean, we've known each other since high school. We had history. And even though we'd broken up, I knew she was the one that got away. I knew I had to make a decision. Marry the girl I loved, or stay with the woman I was in a relationship with. What would you do? Let me know in the comments.